Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Shows Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, and I want to talk about Nell Fletcher. She is annoyed with LaTisha about her deflecting from, the rumors speculating Marceau cheating on her. And Leticia is actually going to roll up on Chris Fletcher about something, and Nell isn't going to like that at all. And before we get into what has happened between these two women, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these sound bites are allowed. So I find this to be quite almost humorous because Leticia, it's clear that she is on edge and annoyed with the video that Martell and Coleslaw made with a young lady whom they were alleging was a mistress of Marceau Scott. And Nell has tried to get Leticia to talk about it, and Leticia won't answer the question, like, what are your feelings about it? She just returned the question with a question and asked Nell, well, how did you feel about it? And Nell isn't satisfied with that, and she's pressing the issue. Meanwhile, the Scott's men, they are actually trying to call Ken out about dating a married woman. And in his confessional, Ken gives his opinion on the Scott's men and their romantic relationships. So this soundbite is going to start off with Ken's confessional and then the scene that you see here between the ladies. And also between the confessional, they're going to go back and forth with Ken and the men at Trisha's 38th birthday party. Here we go.
You got a really, really complex situation. I just needed to give you perspective. I feel like I'm on trial when I talk to your ass.
They're not the guys that I need to be listening to about relationships. Just be real. They like to tag team, and they do repeat the same thing over and over and over again. And it's like, dude, okay, I get it. She was married when I met her, and whatever else y'all want to say it is. But dude, y'all are the last two that need to speak on anything that happens within relationships.
So listen, we gonna do some more dinner, some more lunches.
Yeah, much as we talk, I feel like sometimes you two are not transparent. I feel like y'all talk about my things.
Okay.
Like my family, what's going on with my family, my grandkids.
And we will.
But when I ask, okay, but that's what I'm saying. I need you to be transparent.
I am transparent. Wait.
When it comes talking about like y'all's life or
Okay,
like what's
so
going on with you
what's
all.
not transparent?
Like the Martell interview.
Oh, I didn't watch the whole interview, is what I said.
Right.
So that's me not being transparent because I said I didn't watch the whole interview.
I didn't watch any of No, that's not you, bitch.
I'm saying, hey, you're not being transparent because you're not talking about what they feel like you should talk about. I'm saying, tell me what the want to talk about. You think that our husband's cheating and we don't want to talk about it?
No, I didn't say your husband's cheating.
I'm asking.
That's not for me to.
No. I'm asking what's the part that's not transparent.
I asked a question because she blew me off so quick. Even you said she blew me off.
Because it's some
I get that. You said
I'm very transparent about my life.
right.
I would have dealt with infidelity in my marriage, and me and Marceau went past it. I would have shared that. I would have said, like, this is what I had to do to get past it. So what I'm not going to do is address stuff that I haven't dealt with to please people that feel like I should address it.
I felt like you just.
But you
blew
want to
me
be
off.
transparent about your infidelity.
Coming up on Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Because what you
Okay.
did,
I want to take a pause for a few moments. So Leticia claims that she did not watch the interview at all between Martell, Coleslaw, and the alleged mistress. And Leticia said that she is not going to comment on it because she will not comment on anything that she has not experienced. So she is pretty much not confirming that she's ever been cheated on by Marceau. So therefore, there's nothing for her to speak on. And she said that she did not watch the interview, and Kimmy said that she did not finish it. So I find that to be interesting. I mean, did you just feel like, oh, this is just so nasty, I'm not going to finish it? Or, Kimmy, did you get the heads up that Maurice was mentioned by that young lady during that interview with Martell and Coleslaw, and you did not want to hear anything regarding him? I'm guessing, I'm pretty leaning towards the direction that maybe Tisha did not watch the interview at all, but certainly her mom did. And I guess her mom downloaded her on all the dirty details. But Tisha is saying she's not going to give any sort of comment on it because she's not going to talk about anything that she has not experienced. So I thought that that was quite interesting. It's a very politician answer. I get it, especially if you don't want your feelings hurt, or it's also to me it would be embarrassing. I get it if she doesn't want to watch the interview because the girl was saying some crazy stuff. It was like a Zane novel, but I rather read the Zane novel. I definitely don't have to hear it, especially from someone who is supposed to be an alleged side chick. That's definitely not fun. And Ken, he was saying that he feels like he is on trial when he speaks with the Scotts brothers. And he says, okay, she was married when I met her, but I'm not going to take relationship advice from them. Well, why don't you elaborate on that, Ken? Because you and Tisha are still fairly new to the group, or I would imagine you are leaning on social media and the blogs to have that sort of opinion. I imagine at the reunion, they'll probably circle back around to what did he mean about that? But I found that to be interesting. And Ken, just so you know, Trisha is still married, I think. I would imagine by now you would have definitely posted if her marriage was finalized. So I'm guessing she is still legally married to Marquez, whom we're going to talk about in just a few moments. Just a reminder. But let's get back to when Tisha is going to roll up on Chris Fletcher. Still got a few minutes, but we're getting there.
I felt like you just.
But you wasn't transparent about your infidelity.
I was going to go into it.
Let me tell you.
I was going to go into it. I so shut it down.
But there is a whole bunch of stuff that's going around the Huntsville streets about Chris.
I understand that.
I don't even want to brain right here because I don't know for sure.
No, it's not true.
I don't know that.
Right.
But I'm very transparent. What I'm not going to do is bring it to you something I don't know.
LaTisha Scott, there she goes deflecting. She's saying some things about my husband that she heard in the streets. And at this point, it's neither here or there for me.
I feel like in order for us to move forward in a friendship, y'all have to feel like we are transparent. And you have to feel like it, right? Because you can't build a friendship on non-trust. And I know I'm like an open book. You are.
No, Trish, I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
You don't know, but trust me.
Now, Trish, let's not talk about transparent here. Girl.
I'm Martell.
Trisha, you been Martell before? Yes, I have. He told me that you've been at his house.
I did not make it to his house.
I did, in fact, go to his house. You adamantly said it's not true. Are you saying now it is true?
Well, yeah. I left it out for a reason.
Okay. We all have witnessed Trish give us bits and pieces of the pie. Can we get the whole pie? Because there's still some things that I don't think you're being transparent about. So I'll wait.
You say you're open, but it's like back and forth, so I really don't know.
No, it's open, sweetheart. I can promise you that.
What check are we on right now, then?
We all to the goddamn book.
I'm approaching like friendship at a whole different level. I'm just being honest with you. So what I'm saying is, we need to understand some boundaries amongst us. Or we'll get burned. Okay, listen. A big rumor about Maurice and I is that we have young ladies sign NDAs. But you never had an NDA signed? Hell no. You never had an NDA signed? Hey, Listen, I would much rather be dating a married woman than be dealing with that right there. I got a question. If you suspect someone that's gonna say something, and you say, "Well, sign this NDA," you think that's gonna stop? Well, here's the reason why we have this conversation. It's been coming to me that my guy Fletch has been going around saying that Maurice and Marques told Martell to get chicks to sign NDAs. That sound more like Maurice or some Marcel to sign an NDA. Oh, no. That's a lot. Fletch has been going around saying Maurice and Marques told Martell to get chicks to sign NDAs. No, okay, you sure he said this? No, well, he heard you. I heard him say it. He heard you. Well, let me tell you how it was said to me. Well, Martell said, some guy said to get a girl to sign an NDA, you don't have to worry about that type of stuff. And I said, I don't know. That now, you talking lawyer talk, maybe you need to talk to Maurice or Marceau.
It's difficult to explain this situation away for Chris simply because the concreteness in which it was said. However, you know what? I have to give him the benefit of the doubt. But I'll be watching.
At the end of the day, I had so much smoke for your ass today. Well, you can put that smoke out, bro.
We've had the conversation about transparency a lot, but nobody can really ever give an example of what they mean by we're not transparent. And so what I'm trying to say to you is that what I don't know, I can't speak on. And if somebody can't look me in my face and give me an example of what I'm hiding, then I can't speak on it.
I guess it's about having the ladies, Maurice, has the ladies do NDA.
But maybe we should just ask him because he's here.
Right, ask him. Right.
I think ask him here.
Well, they said they were going to ask her.
I think y'all have a right to
let's see that.
We have a right to ask him.
How we just going to run rush the dudes? We just going to ask him if he did.
I'm pausing. So the ladies, they got up from where they were seated, and Tisha says, well, let's go ask the men about the NDA comment that Chris Fletcher said that sounded more like something the Scotsmen would do. And Tisha doesn't know that Marceau and Maurice have already spoken with Chris Fletcher, and Chris Fletcher pretty much diffuses the situation. So let's continue.
Hey, listen, the way. Hey, listen, we're growing here. This is.
I had asked that the guys didn't separate from the girls.
Hey, listen, we had no idea we were gonna be over here talking this. We signed NDAs. We can't talk about it.
What you did? Don't do that.
We just asked your name with her
Because we're supposed to be going somewhere with this friendship. You stay over there. No. My husband doesn't have to answer to anyone but me. So all that rah-rah and catty LaTisha Scott had in her voice, she needs to remember this is my husband and he doesn't answer to anyone but me.
Take you to the stage right here, Chris. Right here, Chris.
I don't report to LaTisha.
Tisha has a habit of walking up to other men and treating them like husbands. Not saying he's not a husband, he's not her husband.
You said NDA. No, when you call my husband's name, so I'm going to ask you, what do you mean about the NDA? You said it. What you said? You said it.
And me and your husband have already talked about it. Hey, time out. We've already talked about it. Time out, Scott, time out. You got time out, Scott, time out. We talked about it already.
What he saying?
I'll tell you about it. It's okay. People tap this stream. Yeah, I'm on it. With Marceau coming over and, stopping LaTisha or grabbing her after he did kind of take his time. That was probably a good idea.
That was the best thing he could have done.
Hey, just continue as you're doing.
point, I'm really fed up. I'm over her. Boy. So you don't care about inviting us to the expo? Have y'all ever?
We're not a mentor-mentee relationship.
Just walk.
Okay, so you all heard that where they were at Trisha's 38th birthday party and LaTisha walks up on Chris. She has her fingers in his face and Nell says, no, don't do that. You're not going to do that. Don't put your fingers in his face. Nell did not appreciate LaTisha walking up to her husband. And she said in her confessional that Chris Fletcher does not have anyone to answer to but me. Which I was like, okay, Chris Fletcher is sitting beside her when she says this. It's not one of those confessionals where it's just one of the spouses. It's both of them. Chris Fletcher doesn't make a face. He doesn't say, well, you know, it's not so much that I answer to you. We communicate or we're equals or something. But Nell Fletcher says, no, LaTisha, you know, walks up on my husband. He doesn't owe her an explanation. He doesn't report to her. She didn't say that Chris reports to her, but she said he doesn't answer to anyone but her. And Marceau says in his confessional, LaTisha is walking up on Chris kind of the way a wife would speak to her husband. So she doesn't know that they've squashed it. And I'm surprised that LaTisha would want to do that. I wouldn't want to confront a man, especially if you're not single. Now, if you're single, baby, you have to do what you have to do. But LaTisha has a partner. So why not let the husbands do it, which they did. So to me, when the women joined the men, LaTisha should have just walked up to her husband and said, hey, did y'all talk about the NDA comment and see what he said? Now, LaTisha does that afterwards, and Marceau don't even tell her. He says, you know, we'll talk about it later, totally treating her like a kid, like he typically does. And I feel like this scene is a result of the Fletchers, Chris Fletcher having to experience the inequality of Tisha and Marceau. Because I'm guessing also what makes Tisha approach a man like that is because she's probably not expecting to get a black and white answer out of Marceau, because he doesn't respect her enough to fill her in on the details. He treats her like she's a kid. So she knew that she wouldn't really get all of the information that she wanted. So she tried to go to Chris Fletcher herself, but she tried to do it like in a showboat for a reality TV show type of way. And that just did not fly with Nell. But as usual, you know, Marceau leaves Tisha out to dry and to look goofy. But I think that she did that goofy move because she wasn't expecting to get all of the info that she needed from her own husband. So now I want to talk about a post. Shout out to Reality Entertainment TV on Instagram. They captured a post from Marquez Burnett, that is the current husband of Tisha from LAMH. He tagged Carlos King in his Instagram post, saying to Carlos, I wanted to take a moment to apologize and acknowledge my prior actions aimed at you personally. After speaking with you, I can admit that I had an emotional reaction at the time. But since then, I've been doing the work, getting counseling, focusing on healing, my mental health and family. I'm truly grateful for the conversation we had that night. It stuck with me and helped me start seeing things differently from your perspective. Thank you. And he wrote, I am the storyline, keeping it 100. So this is his apology to Carlos after making the post that you see to the right, tagging Carlos again. Thank you for never checking on me, calling to hear my side of the story, or even doing your research on who you casted. The lies, the disrespect, and disregard for me, my children, family, and friends, my legacy is nasty work. If you really care about unifying Black families and showcasing Black excellence, maybe you should reconsider how you operate before it becomes your downfall. P.S. Call me if you truly care about my mental health. Now, in recent weeks, during his Messy Monday show, Carlos King did mention that he bumped into Marquez Burnett. And, his show is obviously on Mondays. So, in the very beginning of the show, he, Dustin, and Claudia, they recapped their weekend. And that is when he said that he saw Marquez and they did get a chance to talk. So I'm guessing this is why Marquez, made this post and he apologized to him. So it's very obvious that he would like to be back on the show. And, I don't know if Carlos would do that. He's apologized to him publicly. They've had a conversation privately. I'm sure Trish and Ken will do all that they can to stop him from coming back. And I don't know what's healthiest for his mental health. I think that he definitely enjoys being on television. But, I don't know if Carlos would be open to bringing him back. I think that Marquez should really focus on himself, and his children and go from there. But we shall see, because it is reality TV. So he may very well get to be brought back on. But he says that he is the storyline. And I have to say, Marquez is speaking facts, because even with the Scotts reminding Ken that he's dating a married woman, that is because of Marquez and Trish still being married. It is what it is. And it's quite trifling to date someone who's married, in my opinion. But I wanted to share this with you all. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Again, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. I believe by the time you're seeing this video, it is Monday. I've made it on a Sunday night. So now I'm going to get ready for bed, and I hope you all are having a magnificent Monday and not a manic Monday. It's going to be great. But if for some reason the day has started off rocky, do not worry that that's going to set the tone for the entire day, because it won't. You can always turn it around, whether you see someone and compliment them on how great they look, or help someone on the job who may need some assistance getting a task completed, or you just getting through the workday and then coming home and enjoying a great meal. You survived it. That's something to celebrate as well. And I will talk with you all soon. Bye.